Hey everyone, today we're gonna go to the truck camp. And I think the snow's gonna be so deep we should probably bring out the sled. And I haven't used the sled in a while, so we gotta dig it out. At least it was upside down, all the snow was on the outside. I think we can bang it off, it's really cold. The ice will probably come right off. Yeah, good enough, we're gonna load it up. Stick it in the back of the truck and we're probably gonna have to go snowshoeing to the truck camp. There's no way we're making it down there today with the truck. Gotta figure out where we're gonna park. I expect maybe 3 feet of snow in that area. Around here, we got maybe 20 inches. It's been nice and cold out lately. I'm very meticulous and I like to keep my truck clean. So this is not going in the back of it today because my truck's set up like a camper and this is going to be sitting on top of my mattress. So we're going to let this melt down here for a few hours. In the meantime, I'm going to go to the store, pick out a nice dinner we can cook when we get there. And I'm gonna bring this too, our little oven, because I feel like that'll work a lot better on the cooking stove in the truck camp. Didn't work very well on this because this is a heating wood stove, not for cooking. See, there's an air gap between the burn chambers, so it didn't heat up enough. So maybe we can make homemade pizza, maybe something else. We'll see what we got at the store. So we'll let that thaw for a few hours, dry off. And I'm also painting a birdhouse. I just pulled my negative temperature sleeping bag out of the back of my truck. We gotta roll it up so we can fit it in the sleigh nicely because we're gonna bring this to the truck camp today instead of my typical mattress. We gotta plan out today very well because I only want one trip in, one trip out. This is gonna be a bit difficult getting in there. All right, compress it nice and tight so it takes up less space in the sled. I haven't rolled this up in a while. It took me a minute to get the hang of it because it's just been in my truck for the past couple of months. All right, that's nice and tight. That can go in the sled. We're gonna go off to the store now while that defrosts. Going back downstairs, we have got some pros and cons here. So, I expected a little puddle. It's fine. It's a concrete floor. But there's pine needles. There's mud in there because it was upside down to make the inside stay clean. But this acted kind of like the gutter on a house. It's full of mud and leaves. So that's going to end up on the floor in here. But I'm very happy that's not going to end up in the back of my truck. Very happy about that. I can mop this floor with ease. And we'll pack that little stove up. And we're set. Gonna head out later. It's 11 in the morning. As long as we get there before dark, we are golden. This is preparation. Just got this out of my truck. It's very, very cold outside, so I'm gonna wait for it to warm up before I try charging it. Want to have our massive flashlight out on the camp too. Over here, I'm charging up all of the headlamps we're gonna bring out. It's not that bad. We'll mop this up once it dries up. That had a lot more ice than I thought it did. Look at that big puddle underneath the shelf. I don't think that's gonna go down, but it'll melt. Look at all that ice. Ooh. Wow, a lot more of it went down than I thought. You could even hear it going down the pipe. Wow. All those big pieces just went down like nothing. I did not expect that. All right, everyone, we're driving out. The roads are super slippery. It says frost heaves ahead. This is always a super bad frost heave, this exact spot. Look at this, it's like a couple of speed bumps right there. And there's a couple spots I almost slid off the road. It's pretty bad around here. That's a really beautiful view right there. All right, that snowbank is huge. I brought a shovel with me, but I am not gonna make a parking space. It's gonna take way too long, and there's probably a lot of ice in there. So here's the road we usually take. It's being used as a snowmobile trail. I'm sure you guys during the summer videos have seen the little stop signs and stuff along that road we drive down. Yeah, there's no accessibility to the truck camp this time of year, so we gotta find somewhere to park. Yeah, so this is an easement. If I had a plow truck, I could go down there even though it's an official trail because it's a right of way, but you know, honestly, I could probably drive down that now, but the thing is I wouldn't be able to turn around. The snow is probably going to be so deep down there. I'm not taking that risk. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull further down the road and just walk it on through the woods. I think that'll probably be easier. I got my snowshoes. I'm sure I can make that work. Snowmobiles are out. All right, got the snowshoes on. Here's the sleigh I'm gonna be moving. I got some bungee cords in case things fall off, but there's nowhere really steep we're gonna be going. Got my food right there, a bunch of gear, utensils, the little oven, the power bank to run the lights. A lot of these heavier things I might leave behind and just come get them in the spring because I don't really see myself using this for anything. I've never used this for anything but the truck camp. That's not gonna be used for anything else, so we really have to bring some things back. So it's easier, I think, to come here just because it's a straightaway and I don't think I'll get in trouble for parking here overnight. I got the truck like halfway into the snowbank, so we should be good. Now we just gotta get on moving down the trail. You gotta be careful on these snowmobile trails because sometimes they're going pretty fast. They shouldn't be around the corners, but sometimes they do. So we just gotta keep to our side. Now, I really don't need the snowshoes. This is packed down so much by the groomer and the snowmobiles that, honestly, you could probably drive your car down here and it's not gonna sink. Literally, you could drive your car down here. But over here, you try going off of this, you're gonna sink in like 2.5 feet of snow. So that's why I need these eventually. We're gonna have to go through some pretty deep snow to get to where we're going. I probably got with me maybe 80 pounds of weight. It doesn't feel like anything because this is so packed, it's like I'm sliding over ice. It takes no effort. One finger you can pull this thing, but it's gonna get a little more difficult now that we're about to go into the woods. I'm glad I chose a weekday for this because if I was here on a weekend or even a Friday, there'd be so many snowmobiles, all the tourists come up here, but it's dead. I've seen one snowmobile in the past 20 minutes, and now it's time to just walk and trudge our way through the woods for a bit. All right, let's get going. It's not that cold either. It's maybe 22 degrees. It'll be down to around 0 tonight, but by far not our coldest camp. We went out to the truck camp a couple years back. It was negative 30. All right, let's keep moving. I was just walking over some bushes that the snow piled on top of, but it was hollow. Now that you'll still sink into with snowshoes. All right, now this is 2.5 feet of snow. With the snowshoes spreading my weight, I only sink a couple of inches, and this is pretty fluffy stuff. Without these, I wouldn't be able to wear these. I would need the big tall boots, and that's more strenuous walking through because you got to keep pushing it, lifting your legs super high, but snowshoes give you ease. All right, so thanks to a snow drift, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just show you it. Right here, you can even see the curvature. I don't even know, maybe you can't. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera because everything's white, if it's overexposing or actually showing you. There's snow drifts everywhere. Right there's massive piles because it's all falling off the roof. Look at that. Not a single thing on the roof. Success. That's why we made the roof so steep. Smells something. I think it's exhaust from snowmobiles. Smells like two-stroke or something, but look at that. Spring is coming. The buds are starting to get bigger. All right, we're gonna shovel a nice path to the truck, and who knows, maybe the truck will even stay warmer now that that gap underneath is buried in snow. And this still is not normal for this area. This area is supposed to average over 90 inches of snow a year. We're not even close to that. We're not even at half of that, I think, for the total of the year. And it's so cold that it doesn't really melt until the spring. Like today, it's the end of February. The sun is starting to get stronger. Even though we're below freezing, I can see things around me dripping. I can feel things melting. It's not extreme yet, but once we get into March, the sun, despite it being below freezing, will start melting stuff. But definitely needed the snowshoes to get in here. That helped out a lot. The roof on the generator, that's another success. It's not buckling. It held all that weight, and it probably weighs a good couple thousand pounds, that maybe 18, 20 inches of snow sitting on that. But look at the steep roof next to it. Not a single thing. That's awesome. I wonder if we're going to find any dead mice in here. Let me shovel out a nice path first. I wish we'd get a normal year of snow. Like, there's been years that I think I may have a video camping here. I have seen this truck before I built the roof on it with over 3 feet of snow. And this area, I know, can get over 5 feet of snow on the ground. I've seen it as a kid. I've seen it not too long ago. But recently, it's not snowing like it used to. I don't have the energy I used to. I don't feel like I should be out of breath after less than 10 minutes of shoveling here. So I just shoveled a little trail so I can get to my wood pile here. The roof was a success. There's almost no snow in there with the generator, and that's almost impossible to prevent because it was windy. It was drifting around in here. Maybe we'll install this window when we're here in the summer. I want to replace the windshield of the truck with an actual window we can see out of. This would have been so hard if we had 5 feet of snow on the ground. I hope it happens. I don't think it's going to happen this year. Maybe next year we'll finally get a normal year of snowfall for this area. Like this snow line here should be like up to that window or something. And this was hard to get through because it all slid off the roof, which means it was super packed and solid. At least we don't have to worry about that falling down on us being here. It was solid enough that the shovel was able to just shear through some trees. I regret cleaning this truck before I spray painted. I should have left literally all of this lichen and growth, because doesn't that look better for camouflage? I should have left the whole thing. I shouldn't have cleaned it. Should have left it like that. But let's get inside, unlock it. I don't see any dead mice. This window's very, very dirty. Oops. Oh, I forgot we had put a ton of mothballs in here because of the mice. It's cold out, so it doesn't smell that strong, but we need to remove all these mothballs. How many packs did we put? I believe 4. 1, 2, 3, and number 4 is there on the floor. We're just gonna go ahead, we'll put them in the sled. It's not gonna snow or anything. Look at this, our soap is frozen. It's not even the same color. Cool, and it's very flexible, like a foam. It's kind of interesting to see there. How do you think this is gonna be? Okay, first off, it's frozen solid. It's probably fine, actually. I don't think it's been through many freeze and thaw cycles. I'm amazed there's no mice in here. Okay, this is thawing a little bit. Yeah, now that I think of it, it's a lot warmer in here than it is outside. And I think it's because the sun is touching that dark green roof. It's conducting a lot of heat. So that's perfect for warming us up in the winter, actually. In the summer, it's not going to be great, but in the summer, there's going to be a lot of trees that are above us. So that's a big plus right there. And I'm amazed there are no mice here, and we haven't been camping here since December. Not a single mouse in the traps. Now we got to get that big power bank, plug it in. That'll give us an electrical plug, a light there, a light by the door, 2 lights upstairs, another plug upstairs. I actually just bought a massive power bank. I wasn't going to bring it today because it's so heavy, but it's over 100 pounds. It's like a suitcase. It's a massive power bank. And with that thing, you'd be able to run a microwave. I tested it with space heaters. It ran 3 space heaters equaling about 7,000 watts for an hour. Microwave is, small ones are 700 watts. And who uses a microwave more than a couple minutes typically? Yeah, you could run a mini fridge in here for probably over a week with that power bank. You could run it like a little house for like a week. That's so cool. I did not buy the solar panels for it though. I don't see myself ever staying here for extended amounts of time. But in the summer, we'll get it out here. Upstairs, we got all our space heaters right there from that camping video. We got a life jacket right there, the bed frame, not the bed because I'm worried about mice, but this just proves those mothballs work awesome. I have tried natural chemicals that make it smell like mint in here. It does nothing. This works great if you have a shed or something. It's just not good to be breathing in, so we're removing them all while we're here, and we'll put them back tomorrow when we leave. They work great. but they're not good to be breathing in, so we're just gonna let this place air out for a little bit while I organize. All right, let's get the lights on in here. All right, we got 100%. We plugged it in. Now let's get the lights on. Nice. Look at that. Got lights going now in here. Let's figure out where I put my thermometers. I thought I left some in here. I hope I did. And we got another light. Okay, we're unloaded, so it is time to start a fire now. At least we have some black pepper. I did forget to bring seasoning for the food. All right, we got our oven in here. The bed I can set up later. And I put the clock up here. So up here, that is impressive. Or maybe it's just warm for my backpack still. We will find out. Is it actually 52 degrees upstairs? It's possible. It does actually feel very warm up here. Okay, what's the other thermometer saying? I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if a dark roof is actually making it this warm. Possibly. I'm getting a little sweaty. We're going to find out. The door is wide open. We're going to find out. But is what I brought for food tonight. Got some milk. We're going to make these English muffins here into pizzas. They come apart and we will put some sauce on it. Look at that, sauce in a can like that. I've never seen that before. It looks very, very old-fashioned, the logo. That's why I bought it. Got a steak right there. We'll season it with the pepper. Good enough. I bought this because it looked interesting at the store. It looks delicious. I might be able to put a little bit of this on the English muffins before I put the tomato sauce and the cheese, and that might make it taste really, really good. We're going to make little pizzas in that oven once we get the wood stove fired up. We're also going to make these in the wood stove. I got a tiny little baking pan in here. Got some silverware. So it should be a good night. This stuff shouldn't go bad now, but once we start a fire, we'll use this as like a little refrigerator because it has a lot of exposure to the outside. Honestly, no animal would probably come here because it's so cold out. I don't know. I've put food here before. Nothing has ever dared try to take the food while I've been in here. But I'm not going to take the risk by leaving good food outside. Although last time we were here, I left the trail camera when we were gone. Flying squirrels ended up eating all the leftover stew meat. Okay, it's time to start a fire. I'm pretty sleepy, so it might be an early night for me. But usually when I say that, I get energy when I don't necessarily need it. I'm currently out of breath, but we're going to start this up. Let's see. Got a lot of good kindling here. This is very, very dry pine. Great for starting fires. We got cardboard here to ignite this. And then we got bigger pieces. I'm so glad that I stocked up in here. I probably don't even have to go outside and get any. I was prepared last time. Is this dry or frozen? It's actually dry. We mopped the floor in here last time. I think I might have to clean this out. Did I clean out the ash last time I was here? No, I did not, but there's not a lot. I have a shovel for that. We might not be able to get to it. We're gonna find out in just a moment. I keep it right in here. Oh, perfect. It didn't fall down in the snow. Here's our little shovel. Keep it right there in the wheel well because it does get kind of dirty. And do I have a pail to get the ash in? I do. It's down there, and this is kind of hard snow. Can I even get my bucket? Yep, got it without breaking it. Perfect. That's okay. Now we're gonna shovel some ash, but it's good to leave a little layer in there because it helps protect the stove from the extreme heat, and the stove will last longer. Leave a little layer in there. There was more in there than I thought. I think the reason there was no mice in here, but I believe there was 6 mice in here when we camped in December, because the beginning of the winter, mice are seeking shelter as soon as it starts getting cold. They all came here, they all got trapped and killed. And there's no more mice in the area at the moment that have found this place, so when it's cold, mice don't really travel, so you only typically have an issue with them the beginning of the winter, then they kind of go away. Let's dump this outside. Okay, this actually worked. I put this lid of a pot right here, bent it to catch the water and get it so it doesn't drip on the pipe, because when it drips on the pipe, it gets in the pipe, and I noticed a little bit of rust lines from water running down the wood stove. Yeah, that prevented it. Although I don't know how much of this coming off the roof was liquid. Obviously some of it, though, to make an icicle. Okay, we got the ash out. Once the sun hits that, we have a couple days that are going to be above freezing. That'll melt right down to the ground because it's a dark surface. It'll melt before anything else. And this week, we're going to have a couple days that are in the mid-30s, so we'll get a little bit of melting. I mentioned the sun angle is starting to get stronger, so winter's almost over. We have, around here, the growing season doesn't start until June 1st, so it can snow all the way through the month of May. But I'm saying it's gonna get to the point where it's not sticking around anymore. There we go, ripping up some cardboard. Got a box of good kindling. Some bigger logs to stick in there. Actually, we might even stick a paper towel in here after. That'll help it a little bit get going. The damper's already open. The fire's not even that big of a priority for me today like it usually is. I don't feel like it's that cold in here. Let's look at the thermometer. Yeah, it went down a little bit, but it would have moved by now. It's like 50 degrees in here just because the roof is so dark in color. Alright, let's get a paper towel in here. This will help catch the cardboard a little better. Jam a couple more of them in there. Put a bigger log in there up on top. A medium one, which is also pine. That'll help it catch good. Pine is a great fire starter, but it doesn't really work very well once you're going. Starting chimney fires is a myth. If you season it properly, that's not the problem. It just burns very quickly. We've been here almost an hour. We haven't started the fire yet. Look at that. That is definitely accurate. It's now showing 48 degrees. Still warm. Look at this one. That one's showing 46 or maybe 45 down here. Yeah, it's basically like a greenhouse, but without the clear glass. It's just conducting heat because it's sunny outside. It's pretty cool. Now the temperature is just gonna start dropping because the sun's going down. I thought shutting the door would make it warmer in here, but I guess it's getting late enough in the day. The temperature's dropping regardless. Got a little bit of ice down there in the tracks. Look at how even that is. We usually have a little step down there. It's just so solid and packed right there. Let's look at the one outside. Yep, it don't take long for it to start dropping in temperatures. Once the sun disappears, we're gonna need that wood stove soon. All right, I got the mothballs out. This time of year, the days are already starting to get a lot longer. Sun doesn't go down now until like 5:30, almost 6. So it's a bit dimmer out right now. I just took a bit of time to do some editing before it gets super cold out. And temperatures are starting to fall fast. You already get the sense that the sun's no longer making things start dripping. Yep, now we're down to 38 degrees on the inside. The sun's really not helping warm this place up anymore. Now we're about to light this. And I bought these, I have a couple lighters here. Where are they? I thought I just had them in my pocket. Here they are. So I bought these almost half a year ago for the truck camp because I like the off-grid one right there. And we also have chicken. Look at that. Well, it finally made it to the truck camp after spending half a year in my truck and just forgetting to take it out here. So those will stay with the truck camp when we're done. Oops. Can you see that on the camera? The lights are flickering a little bit. I don't like that. Maybe that's putting out a weird voltage. I don't know. But if you can see the daylight in here, that's all clear caulked. There's no more leaks. We patched every hole. And maybe in the summer when it's warm, I'll just spray paint from the outside and won't even notice anymore. I love how the spray paint, it allows light in, but there's also privacy. When you're in here doing whatever, even if there was someone outside, they can't look around that. They can only see up front. Nobody can look inside here, which is really cool. All right, let's start it up. It's that time of year. The sun might be helping warm us up, but Once the sun's gone, temperatures will crash fast down to around 0 tonight. Because it's already 8 degrees outside, I expect it to get below 0, but you never know. It might stay about here. Okay, we're lighting it now. Okay, let's see how that works. So I put that paper towel in there to help ignite the cardboard, because the cardboard, sometimes you got to keep the lighter on it for quite a while. But it looks like the cardboard's already caught. Then the cardboard will help catch this really small timber right here. Yeah, I don't think it's going to go out. I think today we got a good start. Okay, we got a brief couple second puff of smoke into the truck, but it already started drafting. The chimney on this stove is extremely easy to get running because it has a 90-degree turn inside and outside. The one in my house is a bit difficult to get going. The pipe is very long, and the stove is in the basement, which means if it's cold out, the cold air wants to come down the pipe other than up. And it's a lot harder to get going. The one in my house has a 45, another 45, a 90, another 90, another 90 going up by the roof. It's got a lot of corners, and that makes a stove harder to start. But once you start it, it's good. Look at that smoke right there. See it? The spinning. But it's all going up the chimney nicely. I can tell this thing is caught. It's not going out. It's nice. Nice, nice, nice. That stove is not going to go out. Let that catch up nicely. We'll throw some bigger pieces of wood in there. Then we'll put our little oven over there on top of it. Nice. So this stove here has done very, very good. I bought this thing, I believe on eBay, directly from China a couple years ago. It's got some defects in the casting. Didn't even assemble correctly, but it works nicely. It had a heat shield in there. Some people said it was a catalyst. It prevented it from running properly. I removed it. Now it runs a lot better. These do not come off. This doesn't come off. Some stoves that'll come off so you can have direct flames on your pan. I wish it was that. It's not. But this stove has done decent despite how cheaply made it is. Maybe someday in the future I'll find a better one used, maybe on Facebook Marketplace or something. But I'm definitely not going to buy a quality one new for the truck camp. But if I find one that's worthwhile, maybe I'll switch it out with a little bit bigger of a unit. It'd be nice to get like an old-fashioned cooking stoves and put it in here. Okay, that is going real good. Now let's go outside and see the smoke. Wow, I am impressed. It's been running literally 4 minutes and there's almost no smoke. Usually it'll billow a bunch of thick clouds for a little bit, but it's already running clean. Wow, we got that fire. That's like the best fire, quickest fire we ever got running here. It is running so clean right now. There's no smoke. I bet that is already scalding. Yep, you can't keep your hand on that more than a second. Let's go back in. Running nice. You see casting issues. You couldn't even get that bolt in there. But remember, a wood stove is basically under a vacuum going up the pipe. Any crack like that, nothing's coming out of it. In fact, it's actually sucking in a little bit. Going good. Feel any heat yet? It's getting slightly warm. Oh, that one can't keep your hand on that one. But this one's getting a little warm. Almost oven time. Okay, let's try to put another big piece in there. All these pieces are kind of big. I might go out to my firewood pile and look for a few smaller ones. Oh, that one fit. Did it fit? Yeah, there we go. Maybe now it's smoking a little bit that we're adding more stuff into the firebox. Here's another little one. Yeah, that fit in there too. Let's go back outside. Now we got a little something going. Still burning pretty clean. Not too much smoke. I kind of like seeing when it coughs a bunch of smoke. It looks cool, you know, more for effect, so you can actually see it on camera better. It's barely smoking. Everything we're burning is super dry, super seasoned. Smoke is usually caused by moisture or suffocation of the fire. Less than 10 minutes, we're already got up into operating temperatures. In fact, we're gonna shut the door because just by the noise it's making, I can tell there's some flames trying to go up the chimney. Not really a big deal, but that's not the way to operate a stove. Oh, wow. That wasn't even the intention. By shutting the door and snuffing out some of the fire's oxygen, look at it now. Now it's producing a ton of smoke. Nice. It's just fascinating looking at smoke. Okay, I haven't touched anything, but it's about 10 minutes later. The smoke has just about gone away on its own. We have it all sealed up in there. Let's see how big of a difference the temperature is getting. Oh wow, it like just cleared up this moment. Or maybe I just can't see the smoke against the white sky. The heat is making this start dripping again. I can even feel the heat on my hands from this distance. I brought a tent, a burner, 2 cans of propane, a blow-up sleeping bag, and pans. I brought so many things I didn't even need. Like, this was just packed from the last time we went camping with that, was down in Florida. I have 2 pans here. Are they like stuck together? Look at that. It's like one inside of the other. There we go. Got a little bit of silverware. Got a charger, my toothbrush. Okay, we're gonna try to start that oven right now. Wow. Back here is super hot already. It's not really reflecting on here quite yet, but I can feel it. I gotta maybe take my jacket off soon. So, whoa, look at that. Let's turn it down a little bit. Or maybe we want to keep it like that. Okay, that doesn't feel super duper hot, but maybe that'll like keep some more of the heat down here. Let's see if we can heat this up. I feel like this is gonna work a lot better than it did at my house. So, look, it's showing no movement. Let's hope we can at least get a good reading. Let's just let this sit for a while. I like to put my jacket up there, but I actually do have a coat hook. I just always forget about it. All right, everyone, I just gave it a full half an hour to heat up. This stove is still in the overheating range right there. And let's see. Okay, Okay, we got it up to 225 degrees. Still, that's a lot better than it did at my house, and I believe it might even get hotter. It got so hot, the chimney's pipe, you see how it's in the too hot range? If this was in a house where this was maybe going through a wood wall, I'd consider that dangerous, but because everything in here is metal, I'm really not concerned about it at all, running it overheat like that. But magnets don't do well with heat, and the magnet slipped. Magnet failed. But open it up. Yeah, that's hot in there. You'll get burned in there. Let's put something in there because I'm getting hungry. Even at that lower temperature, it will be fine for cooking because we're only going to make pizza in there. We're going to make those stuffed clams, pre-cooked stuff. We're not really concerned. Now the steak, I'm going to use that pan right there. That pan's been in here for a while. Maybe the summer moisture made it rust up a little bit, but we're going to put butter on that and try to wipe a lot of that rust off. I bet the steak will actually taste delicious with that garlic butter. But I'm going to try making those clams first. Put those in here on one of the shelves, and then I can use the other shelf for pizza while I wait, because those are going to take probably at that temperature, because you're supposed to cook them at 400 at 2. Oh, it is actually looks like it's even climbing since 1 minute ago, but those will probably take over an hour or so to thaw or cook through, heat up. Wow, look at the temperature in here. 90 degrees. It's getting hot. And the sun's going down. It's almost dark. How about upstairs? We are reading 42. It's a bit cooler upstairs. The heat's not really making it up there quite yet. We still have only had the fire going maybe an hour. You see, it is getting darker out. Let's see how we're doing out here as far as temperature. Ooh. Yeah, I've said this before. It always ends up getting a bit colder than they say just because of the high elevation. I don't think there's a weather monitoring station that's super close by, so it usually does get colder than they forecast here. All right, let's get some of this set up. All right, maybe this will eventually do better, but this stove gets extremely hot compared to my stove at home because it's meant for cooking. That being said, I'm surprised it's not getting up in temperature more. Like, even if these burners came off, I don't think you want direct flames in there because the bottom of it is just open on the oven. I don't think it's intended for flames. That would burn your food. But I'm going to put these in. I don't think I need a pan. I'm just going to slide them in the top shelf. I've cooked these before, and it's not like they're going to drip. They're not greasy. So we'll slide those in there. I can usually eat like 6 of these when I eat them. I bought a 4-pack because I want to make other things too. And I haven't been eating as much lately. Been on a diet, so tonight is going to be like an overeating night for me. But I like to have fun cooking in here. It keeps me entertained. All right, so that'll probably take quite a while. What time is it so I can have reference? Look upstairs. It's 5:25. Ooh, that scared me for a minute. Hear that noise? Sounds like a computer tower fan. It's the power bank. The cooling fan turns on every now and then. This stove is so powerful, even for this small space. My legs are almost hurting, like actually almost getting burned. It's so hot right here. Wow, I can't touch it. I can literally get burned on this other stove. The wall. No, because it's so cold outside, that's not going to heat up a lot, but warm this wood. This wood is warm to the touch. This, ouch. Oh, wow, I can almost get burned on this plastic. Yeah, look, that plastic's getting soft. Get that away from it. This thing is running super duper hot. It hasn't really climbed, maybe slightly. It'll eventually cook our food, but it's getting real hot. Wow, 97 degrees in here now. And right here actually feels nice. I can feel cold air trickling down right here from the upstairs as it naturally rises up displacing the coldness and it's trickling down. I love that. Upstairs, slowly but surely climbing up there. But yeah, I like sleeping in colder weather, so it being colder upstairs won't bother me. In fact, if this stove completely dies, it won't affect me one bit. This is a negative temperature sleeping bag, meaning anything below negative 18 Celsius, you'll be fine in here. Like the coldest weather we could possibly get in northern New England, you'll be fine without any heat source. That's a very, very nice sleeping bag. So now we're gonna try making pizzas. Gonna bring over all my pizza making stuff over to the table. We're probably good, but I want to shut this one light off. We've already used 11% of that big battery, and I just want to conserve a little bit. I also got my charger here. We want to conserve power a little bit. We can be more careless with it in the morning. This typically only supplies enough power in here for a day. I do have the solar panels for this unit though, and you can charge it up enough to sustain lights in here, but that's about it. All right, it's pizza time, everyone, and it's very, very hot in here. I'm not someone that enjoys super hot weather, but it's uncomfortably hot downstairs right now. Okay, let's make these. This was just an idea today because it's such a small oven. I could have got pizza bread that's actually small, but I thought this may have been a good idea because we can experiment. If we wreck a few pizzas, burn them or something, it don't really matter. Because look how small they are. We're going to start off by making 4 little pizzas with these. Keep the bread far back here because it's really hot. I don't think it could possibly mold overnight, but it could make it start to go stale. Like the counter here feels actually like it's kind of nice. It's like very, very warm. Okay, trying to get the second one open right now without ruining it. Success. Okay, here was my idea. I'm only gonna do 2 of them like this, and if it turns out better, I'll continue to make more. Ooh, that smells so good. Like, this is gonna taste like garlic bread, these pizzas. Oh, this is hard, so it's gonna be... Oh man, that is hard to spread. Okay. What I'm going to do with it is I'm going to keep it right here where I just mentioned it's uncomfortably hot. Or I'm going to put it down on the little wood stove next to me. Maybe we can melt that a little bit. Oh yeah, that's really good, that butter. In the meantime, we'll make the other ones. That was incredibly good. That's going to be an awesome steak too later when we have it. Oh, this smells good too. Okay, let's make some little pizzas. Get that wire out of the screen right there. Okay, this is pretty loose pizza sauce. We'll do one with a little bit, and we'll do the other one with a good amount. So just a little bit on this one. And I don't think this is going to take long to cook. I'm probably only going to cook it long enough to melt the cheese, and I'll be satisfied with that. I guess it wasn't as much sauce as I thought. It like soaked into that really fast. And I thought it'd be good today. I love pepper jack cheese. So I think this will taste really good using it for pizzas. I like this spicy cheese. Put a good generous amount on there. Just like that. Oh, I can see the pepper. Some of the pieces have little black and red specks in them. Yeah, we'll put a real generous amount of cheese on that one. And I gotta go grab my pans because we're not gonna just slide these in the oven because I just don't want to clean up a cheesy mess. Maybe that one probably wouldn't. We'll be more careful to give it more of a crust line on the next ones. We'll definitely need, with this butter stuff down here, we'll absolutely are gonna need a pan because it's gonna make a mess if that butter melts too much. Alright, got my pans. Okay, how many do you think we can fit in one pan? I think probably only 3. Yeah, 3 is probably the number. Maybe we could squeeze a 4th in there. Nice. Oh, this is actually comfortable. This got nice curvature for the back. This is the first time I've ever actually sat here. I got this bench free on the side of the road, and it looks super old. It actually folds up flat if you wanted it out of the way. It's nice back here. It is too hot where I was just sitting, so I'm just gonna sit here, maybe do a little bit of video editing while we wait for the butter to melt. We'll just let it melt completely, you know, because we're trying to add a little bit of flavor and maybe make the pizza a little bit less dry. So it'll be probably better just to apply it completely melted, since it would probably melt pretty fast in the oven anyways. All right, it's been another 20 minutes. I like how the stove has this, because this part doesn't seem to get hot, or maybe it's because it's aluminum, your hand like can cool it down before it would burn you. So I do hear, I was a little wrong, it is dripping a little bit of stuff, you see, and it's burning. It's an oven, it's gonna get dirty. So I'm just gonna wait until they appear to look golden brown, because I know they're probably not ready yet. Because I do remember we put those in there at 525. Yeah, it has not even been an hour. Maybe we'll check them around an hour. And look upstairs, temperature is about 50 degrees. I know because it's hiding behind the hour hand. Downstairs has got a little cooler, 90 degrees now. So we're probably just about running out of wood in here, although I do still see flames. It's keeping temperature. We're not gonna mess with it now. That actually went up. Now it's 250 degrees. So it is slowly getting hotter. Okay, this melted, look, partially. See it jiggling? Now we can finally make those other ones I wanted to try. So basically what I wanna do is take some of this nice melted garlic butter, spread it on there. Oh, maybe we gotta mix this a little bit. I think it's gonna taste really yummy with this. So this one right here, we're just gonna put a dash of it in there, like that. And this other one, we're really gonna soak it. Because this is like a test subject. Is a lot of it or just a little bit of butter going to turn out better? Well, we're gonna find out. So this one I'm putting so much, who knows, that one might become soggy when it starts melting more. Now we're gonna go put some sauce over it. If I didn't put sauce, you basically got garlic bread. It's basically what it is. So spread that a little bit. Spread this one. We're only gonna put a little bit of each thing on there. We're experimenting. Now we got some cheese we wanna put on it. Put a generous amount of cheese on this one. This one might come out soggy. This other one, just a little bit of cheese. Am I lucky? Can we fit all 4 of them? That would be great if we could fit all 4 in here. I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna do it. They're a little bit overlapped, but we're gonna cook all 4 at once. Licking off my finger, that tastes good. Yep, you see they all fit in there. Sorry, I didn't realize the camera angle was so zoomed out. Okay, we're gonna put this on the bottom shelf. Honestly, I think this is probably only gonna take 10, 15 minutes. Let's see. I don't like my pizzas to be too crunchy, just a little bit golden brown on the edges. Basically, when the cheese melts, it should be fine. The last time we tried cooking pizza in the truck camp, I put pepperoni on it, and I ended up burning the pizza before the pepperoni even crisped up. So, we're not doing any kind of meat on it, no toppings. I think this will turn out well. It's been exactly 20 minutes. The temperature's starting to drop a little bit there and there, so we're gonna have to add a little bit more wood. 20 minutes. Are the pizzas done? Ouch, ouch, ouch. Just wanna, oh, it's even starting to get a little bit crispy on the edges up here. How are these doing? I'm just gonna stick my finger into one. Yeah, the core of those is getting hot. So I'd say I'm gonna leave the clams in there for maybe another half hour. Pizzas are almost ready to come out. Let's fire up more wood. I haven't touched the firebox in a long, long time. Wow, still going pretty hot. Try to flatten that down a little bit, have a nice red coal bed. And we're gonna put some more wood in there. So we're gonna go over here and select some pieces. Let's throw this one in there. Wow, the wood feels cold touching it. Objects in the room haven't even adjusted to the temperature. We haven't been in here very long, all considering. Is it gonna fit in there? Or is this piece a little too big? Come on, here we go. Okay, so briefly, that'll probably actually cool the stove down, but it'll quickly catch back up. Cooling fan just shut off on the power bank. Just give it a moment. Okay, the firebox is doing really well, catching up nicely. The gauges are starting to go up. That one's going up anyways. This one will probably take a little bit longer to react. We are gonna take out our pizza. Where's my pot holder? I know I got one in here. Where is it? I know I have it. Maybe not. It's okay. It's okay. We got paper towel. Use that as a pot holder. Just fold it over a bunch of times. Yeah, those look pretty good. Let those cool for a little bit and I'll give them a try. Did that so we don't burn the counter. And we'll let those come out in maybe another half hour. It's good to space out what you're eating so you can get hungry again, work up another appetite. Wow, this kind of butter has a higher melting point than a typical stick of butter. Typical stick of butter would have melted all over the counter. This takes a bit more heat because of what it is, I guess. Whatever's mixed with it. I don't know. Take a look at the label. It's 100% real butter, but it seems to not melt as much as like a stick of butter. Well, that's definitely, okay, that is 100% real butter, but whatever's on the surface is something else, I'm assuming. Okay, these came out good. Got a little bit of crispiness. The crust is crispy. How's the bottom look? Well, that's browned from the factory. That's not the oven. We'll let these cool down for like 10 minutes so I don't burn my mouth. They're actually still scalding hot, despite cooking them at a little bit of a lower temperature. I forget which is which. Because these are on the top of the overlap, I'm assuming these are the ones with the garlic in them. All right, everyone, it's time to get these out of here now. Oh, yep, they're nice and crispy on the top. I could feel it when I stuck the fork through it. Oh, no. I'm ripping this one apart. I don't want to make a mess of the oven. There we go. There's so much heat here, it's even uncomfortable having my hand near this oven door. Okay, it stayed pretty clean inside the oven. Don't really have to, no! Quick, put these on the counter. Let's just get this whole thing off of here so it can start cooling down. Oh, no. Okay, we gotta shut the door. Let's get this thing off of here with this fork. Ooh, that's a lot of strain on that fork. Put the oven back here on the floor. Let it start cooling down. Let's get it over here a little further away from the stove. Good, because I don't want that to burn in there. I want to get that out of there. Okay, these are nice and cooled down. I'm going to put these on here because they are kind of hot. Let those start cooling and I'll have those later on. Now we're gonna finally try pizza. It's really hot in here. I'm getting a little dehydrated. Look at all that pressure in there from it expanding. Perfect ice water from our last camp. Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, this is the... Which one is this? This is the one with the garlic without a lot. Give that a taste. Good. They're slightly stuck in here. Okay, this is definitely the extra garlicky one. I can feel it's very greasy on the bottom, but I think this will make for a very delicious pizza. To be honest, I don't even taste it. Did I get that wrong? Is it this one? I guess when I make a few more later on as a snack, I gotta put a lot more of that. I honestly don't think I can tell the difference between these. No. Like this one's more greasy, a little soggier, but wait a minute. I can't taste it nearly as much as I thought I was gonna. But still pretty good. I think I'm gonna put like a lot more next time. Maybe a little less sauce. Less sauce, but a lot of garlic. All right, those pizzas were awesome. That wood stove oven worked amazingly. It cooked these in less than 20 minutes. Yes, the garlic did make it absolutely taste better. I just couldn't taste it as strongly as I thought I was going to. So we're going to try actually adding a little bit more of that next time. But these came out, I cooked them perfectly. Just a little bit of crunch on them. That came out good. And later we'll just throw the paper plates and the non-plastic garbage into the fire. When we can reuse this, I'm not even going to clean it, but a couple hours we'll just make more. Now that that oven's cool, I want to get that chunk that I dropped in there in. It's still a little bit hot, but not really. Get that off of there. The thicker pieces of the metal are a bit hot. Now I can actually lift this up. Ouch. I touched the wrong thing. I got... Yummy. That's a preview of what I'm about to have when those cool down. Alright, and we can put this back on the stove and actually... I'm just going to literally leave it there so it's preheated whenever I feel like making pizza again. Because I'm definitely going to make a couple more pizzas. Definitely. Who knows, maybe even make more for breakfast. That steak is what I plan on having for breakfast, but steak isn't that big. I could always have pizza with breakfast. So I'll probably make 4 more little pizzas tonight and maybe 4 more in the morning. We'll see how this goes. I don't think this stuff will go bad overnight. I'm just going to cover it up and maybe put it down by the door. Well, I'll put it somewhere a little bit cooler. Even the floor is cold in here. Our last camping video, I decided to mop the floor, and that was a mistake in this kind of weather. Because despite how hot it is in here, the floor and walls are freezing. I created a skating rink by accident. It froze the whole floor when I was mopping. I almost got seriously hurt a couple of times because it was extremely slippery. Okay. I'll let these cool down a little bit more. Those are kind of dense. I'll give it 10 more minutes. We're doing pretty good. It's now 7:45 in the evening. We're doing good. And I put the steak and cheese down here. Hopefully it doesn't freeze solid, but it's very, very cold down here on the floor by the back door. This is delicious. I just took a bite of it. I'm gonna try to finish that, and maybe we can go on a walk. I'll put the snowshoes back on, use the big flashlight I got. Kind of want to go on a walk. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to finish this when I get back from my walk because I'm full. Can't finish that right now. I'm glad I have the ice water. I have it over here to try to thaw it out a little bit faster. And we got more water right here too. Weird, that one had pressure when I opened it, not this one. And I also got milk I'm keeping down here so it doesn't get too hot. Forgot about the milk. And the butter I think is okay to just leave out up here overnight. Yeah, I already feel like I ate too much. I don't know if we're gonna make any pizzas tonight, but I'll just put a cover over this so I can potentially use that in the morning if I feel like pizza. All right, let's get ready to go for a walk. All right, we're gonna put a fairly big log in here. Here's a smaller one. Now let's go out walking. I got my headlamp. And my big flashlight. Conserve power. Shut that bulb off. We'll leave this one over here on for now, so it's easier to find our way back in. And as soon as we open the door, the security light's gonna turn on. Yep, that's solar powered right there. Nice. Now what's the temperature outside? 1 degree. It really hasn't dropped down that much for how late it is. So maybe it'll actually stay just about this temperature. The truck camp. Okay, it's definitely way too deep. We need the snowshoes to go anywhere, really. All right, this is the area where there's a couple of bushes and it's hollow underneath. See? And it sink down pretty far because these branches on these little trees, whatever. Yeah, see? You sink down. Whoa, 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 whoa! I fell over. Oh no! Got the flashlight covered in snow and I'm having trouble getting up this. Oh, come on. Oh, it is so cold. Oh! Flashlight don't sound good. I just got snow in the cooling fan of a $700 flashlight. Oh no! Hollow spot right there. I hope this thing isn't ruined. It's generating a lot of heat. Hopefully it dries itself off. Oh man. Okay, we're back to the road. Fingers are freezing right now because they're wet. There's no wind, so the cold doesn't bother me, but my hands are wet. If there's no wind, the temperatures like this don't typically bother me, but my fingers are wet and I'm trying to dry them off by taking turns holding the camera. Okay, I'm doing a lot better. This thing here gets so hot, it dried my hands, it dried itself. I'm good. This thing's a beautiful hand warmer. And I'm lucky I didn't crack the lens getting ice against this thing that's too hot. I can't touch that more than a second. Look at the steam it's making when I touch it with still slightly damp hands. And I just slipped out of this, so I gotta tighten that. I kind of want to go down and see the river. We're not too far from it. As I'm walking, I'm conserving my batteries. I hear an airplane, but it's actually quite quiet now that it's later out. Look at this. Those are bunny rabbit tracks. That right there is mouse tracks. Oh, look at this. A snowmobiler stopped here and also went to the river. Or they stopped and peed. What do you think it is? This is a way we can get down to the river if it's summer. I'm not very confident we will make it to the river now because the snow is so deep. I tried to go down here last time and it was too dangerous, so I found another route. Okay, this area, oh, I think there's bushes here. I'm suddenly sinking a lot more than usual. Oh, yeah, I'm sinking deep. Yep, that's a pea trail. It ends. So we're not going to go that way. And by the looks of it, the river is completely frozen. So we're going to turn around and we're going to go a more gradual way. Yeah, there's like, this looks like berry bushes everywhere, which you sink down to pretty easily. Okay, so now we're gonna go off the road here. This is where I went last time. Also, when I have regular boots, it's a lot harder. These snowshoes have these massive cleats, so it's less likely to slip, and I'm sinking very deep here too, so I'm guessing there's vegetation, or this is kind of how an avalanche starts. The top layer of snow is like denser than what's underneath it. That might also be what's making me sink all weird. At least it'll be easy to get out of here. I'll find my tracks back. It's easier to go uphill than it is to go downhill with snowshoes, just the way they're... I think right here is just an outright different type of snow. I'm sinking very, very deep, and I'm not quite sure why. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, look at that. All the way down to the boot. This is very, very different snow. Oh, why is this happening? Yep, the river's frozen. I really want to get down there. This is so hard to walk. These snowshoes just aren't working, and these are overrated snowshoes. I literally got the ones that are for a 300-pound person, the biggest ones they had at the store, and I'm only 2/3 of that, not even. Okay. The river looks completely frozen, but this is a steeper area of river, so it is unpredictable how it's frozen. But I do know the edge of it here is likely a beach. Water's definitely not running that high. I hope I can get out of this easily. Okay. Wow, completely frozen over since the December video. In December we saw some frazzle ice. I was showing how the river starts zippering itself shut, and you see all these sunken areas. So basically the river froze across, then the water level dropped. So a lot of the ice here is actually hollow. So I really don't want to walk out on it. And you see a lot of these objects here that look like gigantic rocks. That's not rocks. That is, if I zoom in on it, it's an ice shelf. And a bunch of areas of it just collapsed. Rivers are not a good spot to be walking around on the ice. Unless, of course, it's like the 2 rivers we've gone camping on in the past. They were fairly slow moving, so they freeze over like a pond. Fast moving water freezes unevenly. It's very unpredictable. So you gotta be careful where you're walking. Like, I don't want to walk in these elevated spots because they could collapse. The ice is thick, so I don't think it's gonna happen. And I know for a fact the water here is never very deep unless it's like the spring thaw. You can even see on the edges, see where it sunk? You see where the whole shelf kind of broke off over there? I look down here, there's no frazzle ice at the moment because the little bit of water that's exposed is actually quite warm. The snow is acting as insulation, and that's actually getting heat from the ground. It's picking up a lot of groundwater. So these small areas likely won't be able to freeze over unless it was super cold. But you see down there how the whole riverbed's flat? There's likely a hollow cavity under that. Let's walk down a little bit closer. We'll go down a little closer. You can also see over here, see where the ice shelf broke off? What I'm walking on now froze when it was considerably higher. Same over there, that's where that is over there. Ice like this that's hollow is also dangerous depending how it breaks. You could pin you in there somewhere. Yeah, I came over here because I was hoping to maybe even see like the opening going underneath it, but it's completely blocked by snow. There's a good amount of erosion. See all the trees falling over into the river. Okay, this is as much as we're gonna see. So I'm gonna make my way back up to the snowmobile trail. We are out in the middle of nowhere, so I do sometimes get nervous out here, especially if I hear a pack of coyotes. They don't really want anything to do with me, but it's still scary to hear them in a large pack. One time I was even splitting wood in the garage and a pack of coyotes ran by. I just sunk into something. It's hard to pull these super big feet out of these holes when you do sink. I might have a little bit of an issue getting up this little incline. At least I got this tree to hold on to. And it's cold enough that these sap reserves are pretty hard. See that? I can pop it with my finger. It's actually still kind of solidified, but this is what a tree does to protect itself. It creates these sap bubbles, and when bugs try to get into it, oh, I saw this in our last video. When bugs try to get into the tree and attack it, these sap bubbles pop and it encases the insect so it can't hurt the tree. The tree can also absorb the sap bubbles back into itself during drought. And it's also a good fire starter, that sap. I'm sinking real deep. These holes shouldn't be that big. Okay, we got one more little hill. No big deal. We'll be back up to the road. More rabbit tracks. This one looks like a smaller one. Rabbit. Okay, so this is a rabbit, I believe, what's going up there. And this one here, I believe, is snowshoe hare. Look at the difference. Look at how big the feet are compared to a regular rabbit. Massive feet to walk on top of deep snow. The snowshoe hare. Oh, I almost tripped again. We're going back now. I should do this more often. It'll help me strengthen up my legs. Okay, we're back to the road for a minute. Just making sure the truck is still there. We can go for a little walk down the road, I guess. What do you think? Is that pole down there crooked from frost heaving? Snowing a little bit too. All right, everyone, we're back. I'm cold, I gotta warm up. It's so nice in here. It's so nice and warm. Let's switch this light to the one in the back. It looks like there's no more flames, but I can tell there's nice hot coals. My security light just went out on the outside. Where's that light bulb? There we go. And I'm not even hungry, honestly. That might end up being raccoon food. Okay, I left this thing alone for a very long time. It hasn't been open in probably 2 hours. Wow, it made it up to 275 degrees. That's the best we've seen. The water's melting pretty well. Let's see how the fire's doing. It's been about an hour since I've looked in there. It's now 9:45. Oh, wow. It burned through those ones pretty fast. Because I got the big sleeping bag, I'm not too worried about the stove staying super hot. I just want it to be able to make it until the morning so I don't have to make a whole new fire. Because I want to cook a good breakfast in the morning. Oh, come on. Well, I guess it's out till it cools down. Put a big one in there. I want to put that really solid one in there before bedtime. So I feel like it's got a good chance. Wow, this one is real big too. Nice. Oh, what's in the way? This one's in the way. Wow, it already caught. outside now. After that little incident, this is staying inside now for cleaning up hot coals. I'm not really quite sure why I even was keeping this outside, but next time I open the firebox, I can throw that stuff back in. I got hungry again, and this stuff is cold, so we're gonna go ahead and heat it up in the oven. We're just heating it back up, so I don't expect that to take very long at all. Maybe just 10 minutes, because they were frozen solid when we cooked them earlier. All right, it's been about 10 minutes, so I'm imagining this is enough time. It should be nicely, okay, not too hot to touch. Nicely just, ouch, I was a little bit hot, but nicely warmed up. Good. Alrighty, those were good. I coughed a little bit on the pepper, but I think that made it taste better. I love pepper. Now these are going to go outside. Things like squirrels will actually chew on these just to get the calcium out of them. And there's a little bit of food still on it. I'm sure the squirrel will like this. There's a lot of flying squirrels in the woods around here. That's probably the most common creature you'd see out here at night. Well, I do think I am going to make some more pizza after all. So I'll make another 4 little pizzas, maybe another 4 little pizzas in the morning. And it'll be good. I think we can use up all the food I brought without wasting it. Now this milk, I'm going to put it on the bottom of the stairs right there. I think it's cold enough that I'll wake up in the morning to a slushie. Or maybe it'll be frozen and I can bring it in here, give it a half hour, shake it, and have a really nice slushie. Honestly, I want a guaranteed slushie. I'm going to put it outside and just let it freeze solid. Bring it back in here after like a half hour. You shake it real hard. It'll be real nice. It'll be like ice cream. I think I'm going to leave it outside like that. Then in the morning it'll be easier to break it free than if it's just a chunk at the bottom taking up the whole diameter. Alright, I'm gonna throw this right here in the fire. That looks really cool, that smoke with the blue flame. Okay, we're gonna try making some more little pizzas. Carefully get those apart. Yeah, let's eat that. Nice. Okay, let's add some of this. Look at that, it's actually a pretty good consistency now. It's like a cream cheese consistency. I'm gonna put a good amount of that on there because that tastes real good. Nice. Got to save a little bit so we can butter the pan for that steak in the morning, because that's the only thing I have. I don't have oil or anything, so we got to use that. So I guess if I make pizza again in the morning, we're not going to probably be able to use any of this stuff. That's okay. Honestly, the taste difference is so little. Maybe it would taste good if I even put some of this on a steak. Try to make it into more like a meatloaf taste. Okay, I think that's enough. Sauces. It's time for cheese. I gotta go grab that because it's back there by the door. Yep, feels like I just pulled it out of a refrigerator. That's why it's back there, far away from the wood stove. Put some good amount of cheese on there. Nice little pizzas. I kind of like adding the pepper jack cheese. It was nice having a little bit of spice. And then we're gonna cram them all into this pan again. Slightly overlapping. Yeah, it's fine. That'll cook fine. That will cook fine. Dump the extra cheese in there. Nice. Look at that. All right, let's go throw it in the oven. All right, 20 minutes, we'll have some pizza. All done. Worked out pretty good. Wow, I can see some of these are super greasy. That means these are gonna be delicious. Some of the best pizzas, in my opinion, are usually the greasy ones. They're not healthy for you, but they taste really, really good. And we can now take this thing off of here because in the morning, we're gonna make that steak. I'm thinking I might not even use that frying pan. I might use that little Dutch oven there, actually might be better. So let's get this thing off. Just put it over here. We probably will use that again in the morning. But that is a great addition to the truck camp. That increases the availability of food we could do. Although I used to actually use that to cook things like this. And it worked. But that makes our capabilities a lot more now. Okay, this batch was good. And now I know I made them a little bit too greasy. So adding that stuff does make it good, but it doesn't make a huge difference. I'm just making it unhealthy for no reason. This time I made them a little bit too soggy. Okay, is there gonna be some animal out here? Why does this security light repeatedly turning on and off right now? I don't know, because it doesn't even turn on from being up against the door here. I have no idea. It's snowing a bit more now. Maybe it's the flakes. Or you know what? Like I said before, it could be flying squirrels. They're so fast. They're gone before I probably get to the door. All right, time to brush my teeth. Almost out of toothpaste. I'm gonna try to go to sleep within the next hour. Oh, it's almost midnight. Just went outside to spit, and it is starting to snow heavy. It's 100% the snow setting it off. But what's cool is the snow is insulating this building. It's a lot warmer. The last time we camped in here, it was also very, very cold. This thing is barely running right now, and this place feels so much warmer. Last time the floor was all icing up. The floor is wet right now, but there's no ice. And I think it's because the snow is so deep, air isn't able to blow underneath. Last time there was barely any snow, so the draft can just get underneath the floor. Now the snow's deep enough, it's insulation. All the little holes up front, I know they exist. I tried to plug them, but air cannot blow in here anymore. It is so much warmer having the underside of the truck blocked by snowbanks. So I think maybe in preparation of next winter, I should get some wood or even dirt or yard debris, anything to block that. It's working so good as insulation. And if we go outside, see, it's snowing a little bit. It's kind of nice just watching it come off the roof. Every now and then there's a gust of wind. You can hear like a bunch of it fall out of a tree. It kind of sounds nice. But this right here, this is snowpack. There's usually a few inches underneath there. Around here, there's more like 6. As you go towards the back, it's almost a foot. You have that giant wheel well completely blocked. This wheel well is not blocked, but still, this is making it so much warmer today. It's really, really nice, actually. So you can see right here, it's running on the cooler side, the gauge right there. Inside here is a comfortable 76 degrees. Upstairs is definitely considerably colder. What's it say? 50. That's not bad at all. I'll sleep nicely with that. And I'm revving this up a little bit more so it'll get even warmer. I want to check outside real quick. I did not look back here. -2. Yeah, just about. Look how detailed some of these snowflakes are. They're very, very defined. I like seeing the detail up close. And I love seeing that deep snow right there on the generator. Look at that. The snow is so beautiful. And it doesn't pile up at all on the roof. It just slowly keeps tumbling off. It's so peaceful out. It's so cold, but it doesn't feel it because there's no wind. It's so peaceful out here. And when it's snowing like this, it's like insulation. It's so quiet. And look, those are rabbit tracks I'm just noticing right now. We've had a rabbit friend going under here. Oh my gosh, wait a second. Okay, that's a fresh layer of snow that just came down. We just got a coating. Are those super duper fresh? Is it a bunny rabbit coming over here for the leftovers? It's possible. There might be a bunny coming over here that's waiting for me to leave right now. Okay, I might be up a little bit longer. We're going to come back out and look for more tracks in just a little bit. 68% left in the battery. It's 1 in the morning. I'm going to bed now. Let's go leave this milk outside. We'll load the firebox up real quick. I'm going to take a quick look for bunny tracks. The snow has got maybe slightly heavier. Look, it's snowing good now. Yeah, I got a new coating. It even covered up my footprints. We're only supposed to get about 1 inch tonight. Yeah, that rabbit definitely ran recently, but it's gone now. And we'll just plop that there. See how that is in the morning. I've been meaning to add a lock from the inside, but it's a little camp building and it's really no worse than sleeping in a tent. You can't lock a tent, so what does it matter? Down here, 78 degrees. Upstairs is a bit cooler. I gotta set my bed up now. We're about to go up for the night. Let's see. And we'll let that singe a little bit more. I'll come back down. Let's grab my charger. Plug that in upstairs right there. I'm not cold or anything, but my boots are wet from earlier when I had that little stumble. So I'm going to take the soles out. They're just damp, no water in them really. But I'm going to take the soles out, put them over here so they can hopefully dry by morning. Just put them kind of here towards the stove. Okay, that should be good. Take my socks off, hang the socks here. Hopefully this all dries by morning. All right, got the lights on up here. Plug in my charger. Yep, that'll reach up there to the camera tonight. Put the clock over here. That clock is actually wrong. It's 10 minutes behind. It must have got bumped when I was in my backpack. Good. I brought a pillow with me, but it's in the truck, and I'm not going to get it. I'll get my jacket. That can be my pillow tonight. I also kind of want to see what this place looks like from the outside real quick with the lights on up here. And that's what it looks like, and I'm not going to stand out here more than 5 seconds. I was too lazy to put my boots back on. I'm barefoot. The metal floor is actually so warm right next to it. I'm going to stay here for a moment. Okay, look what I just realized. Listen. You can hear a lot of snow sliding. That's cool. Good night, everyone. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm a bit tired, but I can't sleep anymore. I got maybe 6 hours of sleep. I woke up twice, put wood in the stove. I don't know if it was my mind waking me up, telling me that I should keep putting wood in this thing or what it was, because it did not get cold inside. The sleeping bag was very, very warm and toasty, even though upstairs gets a little bit chilly. But that sleeping bag is not as comfortable as the mattress I usually use because I'm sleeping on a hard floor. So that mattress, I probably should have left it here considering there was no mice, but I didn't know that. Because mice, mice walk in here. They see other ones in the traps and they just get trapped themselves. Now, if it was rats, they're a bit smarter.
if they see dead ones everywhere, they're just gonna stay away from the place. Not mice though. Okay, we got this thing way up hot again. The downstairs here is now 80 degrees again. Outside is 2 degrees above zero. And this right here is reading 80, but it's right above the stove. That's not telling us what upstairs is. If you want to know what upstairs is, we can get back to that in a little bit. You got the cold air traveling along the floor here. Now we're about to make the steak in this Dutch oven. And this was outside for about 6 hours. Look at that. Hear it? Turning into a slushy. I'm surprised. In these temperatures, I thought it would have frozen more. Maybe the snow out there insulated it, but it turned into a pretty good slushy. And we're gonna grease up this pan. Hopefully this is solidified enough to be able to put it in there with the steak. Let's get all this going. Back here, the steak is still nice and very cold. And we can make something interesting with the cheese and the tomato sauce with the steak. We're gonna try to do something here interesting and different. I feel like I could have slept more, but my body's just not going to let me, it seems. Okay, this is actually pretty hard because the wood stove kind of calmed down. I just recently got it warmer in here, but this will start melting as soon as we get it onto the stove. Try to get out as much as we can because this is the only stuff we have to make this pot non-stick. I think I'll just plop the steak down on top of that. Nice. Maybe put a little pepper on that. Maybe when it comes out of the oven, we will put some cheese on it. Sounds good. All right, we're gonna place this on the stove. I'm gonna use the Kohler burner. Maybe leave it here for about an hour. It should cook. Hopefully it doesn't burn. It's been in here for maybe 10-15 minutes. Ooh, this is very hot. Put that down on the floor. See if we can, what it looks like. Hopefully it's not burning underneath. I see lots of oil right there, the butter. So hopefully that means it's not burning. Okay, it's not sticking. Oh wow, this is a very, very tender steak. Look at that, it wants to fall apart. Picking it up. So it's definitely cooking. It wasn't that soft when it went in. See if we can flip it. How does that look? Pretty good. How's this gonna taste? I've never made a steak like this. It made the whole truck camp smell like a lasagna. Okay, get this back on. Okay, let's get this off. I'm pretty sure it's done. Let's cut it open and see. Cut through one of the thicker parts. Wow. I can't believe how tender it got. For some reason I thought it was going to become chewy in here. Yeah, that is cooked through. Maybe a little pink in the middle, but that is actually perfect. Alright, get it off. We'll let this cool for a bit. I'm putting it up onto here. This is kind of like a trivet.
And I want to get it out of here onto a plate because this is a very thick cast iron pot and it will continue to cook it. It's perfect right now. Let's get that out. Maybe give it 10 minutes to cool down. Wow, nothing burned. This will be easy to wipe out once it cools a little bit. Honestly, that looks really, really yummy, and I expect it to taste like lasagna. That looks so good. While it's nice and hot, put some good cheese over it. A little more cheese. Maybe I've kind of made it even more like a lasagna by somehow incorporating those English muffins, like absorbing that, making something like a lasagna sandwich. All right, it's time to clean up my sleeping quarters. Oh, that's what that noise is. There's a thumbtack here. How do I get it out of the clock? That's what I was holding it up there with. I feel it. Yep, I got my thumbtack out. Ow. All right, everyone. The cheese has melted. Now it's time to cut into some of this and see how it looks in the middle. It's very tender for a steak the way we cooked it. It was even falling apart as we were picking it up. It kind of melted like a fat. Time to give it a taste. I feel like it's gonna kind of taste like a lasagna. Kinda. The entire texture of the steak has changed. And that tomato sauce really got into it. It kind of turned it into the consistency of pulled pork or roast beef. Roast beef is a better description. Oh, I got it on my pants. This is cleaning out way better than I thought it would, though. Look at that. Cleaned out pretty well. I can wipe that up in just a moment with another paper towel. I got some on my pants. That was very, very good. It actually tasted just like lasagna, but with roast beef. I gotta clean this well because I don't want to take this pot with me. Not 100% clean, but pretty good. The next time I come here, I'll bring some oil. We'll re-season the pan on the stove. But pretty good. I don't have any cleaner, so I'll also have to clean the counter next time. All I got is soap. So if I want to clean anything, I can only use soapy water. Like that. This doesn't smell clean, but I think I cleaned it out enough. Next time we come here, we'll give it a good scrubbing at the river, and then we'll re-season it.
Okay, we're gonna throw this into the fireplace.
Alright everyone, we got enough wood in here. This really helps out when we come back because we can start a fire without having to haul it all in. This will be nice and dry, definitely being inside here. We went through more wood than I thought we were gonna last night. We have enough kindling for 1 or 2 more fires, but I gotta make more when the weather's nicer. I'm gonna put this in here. So while I'm cleaning up everything, I have a little bit of heat. This will probably still be hot for another 5 hours, even after I leave. When I was outside, the smoke smells so good from all that tomato sauce I threw in here. Is the door even gonna shut with this piece? I don't even think the door is gonna shut. This is a longer piece. That's okay, we'll be here for a while. Wait for it to burn. Right here in the generator trailer, this is actually a good example of how a avalanche starts. You see all these different defined layers. If I run my finger through it, you can feel exactly where there's hard points, like different times where maybe there was freezing rain, sleet. So basically, if you have a soft layer of snow, and then there's like this right here, which is a layer of sleet or freezing rain, that's a slippery layer. Then you got all this snow, it can slip if it's a hill. Still burning pretty clean. I can still smell the tomato sauce. Look at all the little icicles that formed overnight. That dusting of snow was melting on our warm roof. It's pretty warm out now, all considering. Let me show you. Decent weather. Got up to about 6 degrees. Wait, is that 6 degrees? Yeah. I actually expected it to be more. My weather forecast is telling me right now 14, but the weather monitoring center is lower elevation, that's why. Yep, see, I can't quite shut the door. It's like a ½ an inch too big. But that'll burn fast. That's a piece of evergreen. I finally was able to fit it in the fire. That will probably be hot for a good amount of the afternoon. Always have this in here just in case, because carbon monoxide, people think of this as burning propane or gas, but wood stoves can create it too if they're not vented properly. This right here is all my dirty dishes, silverware, the cans, plastic, and we're just gonna load this up into the backpack, get out of here very shortly. Cheese is down there being kept cool, bringing that home, bringing the English muffins home. 30% left, pretty good. We can use as many lights as we want. We're not gonna kill this battery now. All right, we're all packed up and we're out of here. Let's start walking. Nice and peaceful. Traffic's quiet, I hear birds. Oh wow, we're taking a different way out of here today, and we're like 4 feet above the road. Got some deep snow here. I'm assuming it's snow drifting because it's higher than other spots. What that means is the wind just keeps blowing snow in the road, and they gotta keep plowing it higher and higher. You don't want to fall on that broken sign right there. Definitely not. There's a ton of snowmobiles. I saw another big group of them as I was packing up. It's because it's a Friday. A lot of the tourists are coming up today, so we're starting to see parties of snowmobiles. It's kind of the reason. Ooh, look at this frost heave. Whoa! Things went flying, if you could hear that in the back of the truck. Yeah, a lot more of them on the trails today, so I decided to not go on the trail, although they're going pretty slow. Like, I've seen some crazy people that are speeding so fast on them, but around here, I didn't see any of them going fast. Like, if you watch my video of that wood stove in a culvert camp, we had to walk down a snowmobile trail many, many miles, and they were all speeding real fast. Now, this one's going a bit faster, but nothing like in those other videos. That's a snowmobile lane. A lot of the roads up north have that. There's even border crossings just for snowmobiles, which is pretty cool. Yeah, these trails are becoming real active today. And I hope today's video was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. These are pretty icy corners. We gotta go slow, or we're gonna end up in that snowbank.